Now, here's the hosts of Top Story, Kelly Class and Jill Skeen.
And good morning, and welcome to Top Story.
Good morning.
Guess what the weather's doing?
Let me think. Snow?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, it did warm up, though. That's one of the upsides when it snows.
What's the
It
weather?
warms up
What's
a
the
little.
temperature?
We are at a 21 blistering degrees right now, ladies and gentlemen, as a tropical heat wave moves through the area from
Compared to
compared to yesterday. Yeah.
I know. It's nice.
So-
The snow's nice. You just have to take a little more time. You have to be careful. It's
yeah.
a little slick. So
Well, and you can cuss the snow all you want, but it is I keep saying every snowflake is like a dollar bill from heaven, because we so need it in this area.
I know. We always say that. We need moisture. We need
do.
water. We
We
need
do.
manure. We need everything.
And you
It's
say,
just-
well, we need it in the mountains. We don't need it down here. I can hear you saying that, and that's a lie because we need it everywhere
Liars.
around here.
We need it
We
everywhere.
have what's called subsoil moisture, and when we don't have snow that melts and soaks into the ground, we lose that subsoil moisture.
Yeah.
And that takes more water in the summertime. So,
So there you go. Thank you for your weather
you're
report.
welcome. Anytime
And the
I can
soil
help.
report by Kelly Class. Subsoil moisture.
Anytime I
When
can help.
you can use that at a cocktail party this holiday season.
Oh, that
How's
would be a
yours?
great line, wouldn't
How's
it?
the subsoil moisture, Bob?
Hey, baby, your subsoil moisture is looking pretty good there.
And that's when you get slapped.
Exactly.
And that's when the party ends.
7360300 is the number to call. Good morning. It's a Thursday,
And it's hard to believe it's Thursday.
and we have the cops with the bad guys list coming in at 8:30 this morning. I believe today it's Sergeant
Ken Menzel.
Ken Menzel with the
Mhm.
Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department.
Mhm.
And at 9 o'clock, it's Kelton Hatch from Idaho Fish and Game.
For your frozen roadkill recipe of the month. Let's see what he can do with a little frozen roadkill.
You got it, man.
Because
I'll
Kelton
tell
can
you,
make anything taste delicious.
He is a miracle worker.
He used to be a chef, and little salt, pepper, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, delicious.
It'll make anything taste good.
No. Poor Kelton. We tease him so, but he's such a good guy. So anyway, listen up for the frozen roadkill recipe of the month.
That's right. Well, sometimes I hesitate to do this. We do have a caller right off of the bat, but I'm going to go ahead and risk it and take it today.
Oh, goodness. Who
All
could it
right?
be? The boogeyman?
I don't know. Top
Okay.
story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jill.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, hey. Good morning.
Kelly, it's hard to imagine the human race. We got satellites landing on comets and stuff, and yet on the East Coast, they're blocking people from smoking. They're trying to make that ordinance unreal. I wish since you defend the Second Amendment, why don't we defend that deal too?
Where on the East Coast? It's not my hometown, Boston, is it?
There's a town that they were having a town hall meeting or something. Or it was a city council meeting. They were talking about banning smoking in the town. And a lot of the smokers showed up and disrupted it so much that they dropped the whole deal.
That they started smoking in the meeting?
I don't know. I read the headline. I didn't read the story. I'm kind of the type in this country that if some people want to smoke, it's their own business. Let them smoke. They've earned that right. Many of them are vets. Long as they don't blow it in my face or blow it in, make a nuisance of themselves, go ahead. Go ahead and smoke. It's your right. I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's good for you. But I'm not criticizing you for it because I think there are a whole lot of worse things that people can do than smoke.
Well,
So there you go.
lung cancer is a problem and
Understood.
emphysema. However,
Understood. It's not
the
good
thing
for you,
about
but-
smoking is, and if you're in a restaurant, the no smoking section next to the smoking section, when it starts to infringe on you,
That was ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
that was ridiculous.
When I lived in Brookline, Massachusetts, they did ban smoking in Brookline.
Oh, really?
Yes, they did.
Interesting
In all
stuff.
restaurants, and it was banned.
I don't think the government should be able to ban smoking in private businesses. I think if a private business wants to allow smoking, that's their business. And if I, as a non-smoker, don't want to patronize that business because of that, then that is my business. But I don't know.
Well, that's the thing of it is about smoking. You can't exactly contain it. When you see the people, the smoking room in the airport, and they're all in that little
Oh, yeah, I know.
plexiglass
I know,
thing just
I know.
smoking. I'm like, well, okay, at least we don't have to smell it because there is such thing as secondhand smoke, and a lot of
Yeah, I
people get
know.
lung cancer from
I
their
know.
partner who
I
smokes.
know, but
Not to mention dogs, pets too, are having
Oh,
troubles.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And go to Hong Kong and just
Oh.
breathe the air. I mean, that's
No,
worse than
Beijing,
in or
Beijing,
Beijing is probably
Beijing.
Hong Kong too.
No, I was in Hong Kong.
It's
Hong
as
Kong
bad. It's
isn't
worse
bad.
than any cigarette you could smoke. So there you go. But we're not going to ban the cars.
But when it,
So,
they're
or the
trying
factories
they're trying
or
to ban
anything like
emissions, so there you go.
No, not for China. We talked about this yesterday, Jill. China is able to go ahead and pollute more and more and more until at least 2030. It's the United States they're trying to pull back on the pollution on. So, which
Well,
I don't have. I don't have
I'm
a
glad
problem.
no one thinks it's man-made.
I don't have a-
I know the Republicans aren't scientists, but if you want to question whether it's man-made or not, go to China, go to Beijing. That is clearly man-made.
I don't think anybody's questioning that
problems.
pollution is man-made.
They do,
It's
and
just,
climate change, and it's warming
Is
things
it
up.
affecting the sun? Is it affecting the climate? That's the
Hello?
argument right there.
Go into Beijing
Just as
for
many
a week.
scientists say no as yes. So,
That's not true.
Well, anyway, what are we doing here?
I have
wanted to
no
talk
idea.
about
Good morning.
I wanted to talk about the space probe, which is in trouble.
The poor little probe is only
now-
on its side.
Now we got the phones lit up. Top story, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Joe.
Good morning.
Well, the pollution we got out here this morning seems to be snow. And just to let everyone know, it's getting slick, and the idiots are out in force with their
No.
four-wheel drive. We can drive like normal and slide everywhere.
There's these lunkerheads who drive these big trucks with these big tires, and they're thinking, I am God Almighty. I can go anywhere and do anything with this. Get out of my way. That's
That's
their
about it.
attitude. That's
Well,
their
big-
attitude.
Have you seen some people slide around?
Well, me included.
Oh, no. No.
And, just a little bit. I've, tested it in a couple of spots, and I got a pickup, and of course you're light in the back on those darn things, and I can feel the back just slide out from under me every now and then.
Well,
So.
be
Yeah.
careful, and thank you for letting us know.
See,
Okay, luggerheads. Drive slow.
I was told by one of the folks who work here who got here a little bit earlier this morning that it wasn't slick. And I said, well, not yet.
Yeah, it's
But-
getting there. It's starting to accumulate
And
in
this
spots.
is the first snowfall of the season around here, so there are going to be 1 million fender benders
Mm-hmm.
because people are going to have to get used to it all over again.
Well, I wonder
And
if
it may be the
Officer
first 3 or
Menzel
4.
is probably out writing
Yeah, I hope he-
accents right now.
I hope he doesn't miss his appointment this morning because of the fender bender. 7360300. Top story. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Well, I'm going to try to make this quick. Concerning that China deal with Obama and everything and the pollution, it's bad. It's bad for us. It's going to cost us money. But on the other side, there might be some method to his madness because right now with Russia pulling what they're pulling, I think if Obama thinks maybe he can buddy up to China a little bit, it might be a good thing. And sounds like they're getting along over there real good, him and that Chinese president.
Jing
So-
Chaoping.
Yeah, so maybe in the future, they can change it up, and work things out differently, but for right now,
Well,
Right.
before they would never even talk about any control in their emissions. So
They're
to
still
sit
not.
there,
That's the point. They're still
there's-
not.
They are at
No.
least they're going to start. Oh, so where's the Republican plan? When we've had George W. Bush, was he talking to the Chinese leader, even talking about carbon emissions? No. So, I mean,
Well-
at least there's something, and you don't know if it's going to progress because the people have complained.
Oh, my gosh.
They have so many deaths, so much illness, and from
And
the
they're not
the
doing
pollution.
anything about it. The agreement is we are going to reduce our emissions by something like 28% by the year 2025. And the Chinese can continue to pollute and set their cap not until 2030.
And what
Don't
was
you
it
get
before? What was it before the other day? It
Was
was
it-
nothing.
And
it was
still
nothing.
isn't. It still
So
isn't.
it's a start,
By the
and you
time-
don't know if that's going
By
to
the time
improve. My
2030
gosh.
rolls around, everybody will have forgotten about it. China will be doing what they want anyway.
By
it's
2030?
a non-deal, and
Oh,
they're running
my.
this across the media like, oh, this great agreement
And what have
between
you guys
the U.S.
done for
and
it?
China.
You guys are denying any kind of climate change, any kind of anything. So you know what? At least there's a start. And so because before the other day they didn't talk about it.
If you want to call that a start, I mean,
well,
you're
you guys do
delusional,
nothing,
but go
and
ahead.
there's no start.
Go ahead.
There's no start.
736-0300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. It sounds to me like a lot of people have forgotten that China, the Republic of China, is a communist country that still venerates and worships Mao Zedong, who is responsible for having murdered millions and millions of the people that lived in that country, his own people. Nothing makes me think that they will remember in 15 or 10 or 5 years
Exactly.
this agreement.
Exactly.
Because they are building their industry. They are willing to say whatever it takes to get the United States off of their back and to stop all of this talk about equal rights, about global warming, about all of this so that they can continue to move forward. They're a communist country. They have not changed their spots.
That's right. You're exactly right.
There are also countries that are not abiding by climate change until the U.S. and China and the other big polluters agree to something. So it is a start, and it's going to help other countries do that. And at some point, you can't continue to live like that.
As far as the U.S. and China getting together against Russia, that's not going to happen. Two communist countries are going to stick together. The China and the United States going against Russia, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. The Chinese are going to show their true stripes. Their true stripes are, as the gentleman said, they are communists. So is Russia. We are not yet.
And what you've forgotten is they're also our bankers. So we do deal with China in a lot of ways. So here's a news flash. They own a lot of our debt.
They do.
So
That's why
you know
we
what? It's
are
all
in
intermingled.
Deep trouble.
Oh, come on,
But making
Kelly.
a non-agreement over pollution is not going to fix that.
At least they've admitted it,
Until
which
we
is going to
stop-
help other
Not going to
countries.
change it or fix anything until
Because
we stop
you guys
spending.
do nothing.
We'll be right back.
Oh, please.
7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. Don't worry, we're going to get to the story about the Philae spacecraft here very,
Kelly
very shortly.
really wants to talk about that.
I do.
It's amazing it's on there.
At any rate, but before we talk about that, we've got the folks at Canyon Pond that I wanted to mention.
Oh, go ahead.
Because they've got guns, and they've got camping stuff, and they've got woodworking stuff, and fishing stuff, and tools, and jewelry, and watches, and anything.
Bicycles.
Bicycles.
Very cute for a nice Christmas present.
Even a four-wheeler sitting out there once in a while in front of the store, across from Will's Toyota on Shoshone Street. So you need to stop by and see Twin Falls' newest pawn store.
Yeah.
Canyon Pawn. You can call them at 933-2600. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them online at canyonpawn.com. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. So, great place to go. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take another call. Top story, you're on the air.
Talk about your little
Good
comment
morning.
if you want to.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, as far as Obama going to China, it's another example of negotiating from a position of weakness that does not achieve results, only to for lip service, and not much of that. If you saw the look of disdain on the president of China's face toward our president, I think it's body language that indicates their level of disrespect for our head of state.
You know,
I don't know what look at disdain you're talking about, unless it was during the press conference when the New York Times reporter asked him a question that he didn't like.
I saw a picture when they were looking over the troops, the Chinese troops. Obama and Chao Ping were walking along next to each other. Well, actually, Chao Ping was a little bit ahead of Obama, and he had this look on his face like, oh, man, I would rather really not be here.
Oh, stop.
No, he really did.
You know what? You
It
can
caught
freeze
my
frame
eye.
any
sorry.
photo. My gosh. And that's a position of weakness. It was an economic
Hey,
council. And
Fight it if you want.
what's Obama supposed to do? Not
Fight it if
show
you
up?
want.
I mean, come on. What position of weakness is there? Give me a break. I mean, this is ridiculous.
it would take too long to count all the points of weakness, but one of them, as you just mentioned, is they are our banker, and we owe them, billions and billions of dollars. They make everything that we buy.
They do not.
80%.
If we all start
they
buying
didn't-
American, we could do this. And people are
You can't,
doing more
because
and
there's
more
a
and
lot
more.
of that stuff you can't get anywhere now
Oh,
but from
yeah,
China.
those little trinkets.
Man.
I just bought U.S.
Get your
American.
head out of the sand.
I just bought American-made tires. Come on, you can start looking for things and help
There's
the
a few, I'm sure,
companies
and I
in
agree
the
with
U.S.
that. I agree with that.
If you followed ABC News, Made in America story, how many companies have been boosted by people purchasing American products? And with the holiday season coming out, do that.
7360300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Jill.
Kyle, I hope you're careful. Are you driving and talking?
No, I'm waiting in the field to be loaded, but
Okay.
it is ugly out here and getting worse by the minute.
What are you loading?
Round bells, corn round bells.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right,
Corn
just be
stalks for
careful.
bedding for animals.
Yeah.
Anyway, my whole problem is they need to understand that the people have spoken. The Republicans have gotten a huge amount, which I could care less, because most of the Republicans I can't even stand. But somebody's saying something that they want to stop. And they want to stop the lawlessness of just passing stuff without doing it the way it's supposed to be done. What Obama has done is going to create a situation where heating bills and everything are going to go up. That is going to hurt the middle and low class, not help. And it's just ridiculous on what he's doing. He's doing everything against what the majority wants, not, he's going for what the minority wants, not the majority.
And if you
And
think
as far as global warming is concerned, again, shit in, shit out. If you put junk into a computer, you're going to get junk out. Is the climate changing? Yes. But you can go back through history and see that it's happened all the way back in the Bible days. It goes round and round and round like a circle.
it's a cycle.
If you don't think that we're creating some problems in our environment and our climate from what we're doing, then you're delusional. Go to Beijing. But the thing of it is how come when Obama won a majority in 2008 and won the House, and when it went in 2006 and we got the Senate and the House and the presidency, no one sat there and said, the people have spoken. Now, it's interesting how when the Republicans are now, the people have spoken, but yet for the last two elections, the people have spoken, and all you have done is blocked anything Obama has done and tried to dismantle anything he has passed.
Come to find out they were right.
Oh,
They were
what
right
were
to block him. We were right to block
No,
him
we
because
were
they've
not.
had 6 years of his rule.
And what- and
finally
look at
the
our
people said,
country.
you got to stop this. We were right. The Republicans were right in trying to stop him. And they've just been told that by the people.
Oh, right, because we don't have a world financial crisis. Our stock market is almost more than doubled since he's been in. Unemployment's
spite of him,
down.
not
oh,
because
please.
of him.
Oh, please, give me a break. You know what? You guys are pathetic, and the
We got-
people spoke twice, and you didn't respect it. Why should we respect
We
this?
got the cops with the bad guys list next on Top Story. 7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. Welcome back, and we've just been informed that our guest is running late. Sergeant Ken Menzel with the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department. I think he's been out on fender benders this morning, so he's a little bit late, but he's on his way. And we're going to talk about, he probably has a couple of bad people to talk about, and then
Probably a few of those, what'd you call them, luggerheads?
Lunkerheads or something.
Lunkerheads.
Anyway, before he gets here, though, and maybe I'll get to talk about my comment.
No one cares, apparently, about your comment.
Apparently not, but I do.
All you want to do is talk about your comment.
And nobody cares about irrigation right now either because the water is off. But coming 2 and 3 months, you're going to be wanting to talk about it. So I would say stop by the folks at Farmore of Idaho and ask them about Certiset. It's this new way of irrigating. It's this flexible pipe that goes out in your field. Once it's out there, you never have to move it again. You have attachments on your equipment that move the pipe instead of you having to send people out there to move it out. You don't have to spray for the borders around the field anymore. It's just absolutely amazing what they're doing with technology and farming now. And they can tell you all about Certiset at Far More of Idaho. You can get them online at farmoreofidaho.com or 324-3341. Top story, you are on the air. Good morning.
Kelly and Jill, it's Carl.
Hi, Carl.
You better be careful driving, Carl.
It's nice short weather, isn't it?
It is. It's just shirt sleeve weather. I don't know what people are going to do when it gets cold. I mean, everybody's been complaining about yesterday and today. What are you going to do when it gets cold, people? Come on.
Yeah, really.
Don't be sissies.
Yeah. So I just want to say something is, Jill, how come you're so pro-Obama? I don't understand. All these millions of people voted. I mean, I love you to death, but
Carl.
the guy's the worst president ever.
No, I don't
Ever.
think so. He's had to clean up your worst president ever. So if you look at all the facts and you look at the economic indicators and what's happening, yeah, no. Look at the facts, Carl. You know I love you. And, buddy, drive carefully, but look at the facts. Go ahead. It's not hard. Not hard.
The facts are that Obama, ladies and gentlemen, is not yet the worst president of the United States. That goes to Carter.
That would be to George W. Bush. Oh, please. I mean, he's had to clean up your guys' mess for 6 years.
He might even overtake Carter in the next 2 years. I was going to say
Ken, give me that taser now.
You think things have been bad for the last 6 years. You just wait. Now we've got a lame duck president. We got a lame duck Congress. He can do anything he wants.
And everyone has in the past, and it's not lawlessness. This is what happens in executive orders. George W. did 3 times the amount that Obama did. So don't sit there and say lawlessness now. Get over it.
It is. It's lawlessness.
That's
a good way to put it.
Not.
I like that. I'm going to use that. Lawlessness.
I don't use it. That's what the Republicans say all the time. If he's so lawless, then impeach him. Go ahead, impeach him.
They might do that.
Oh,
now.
yeah, but he didn't have sex with an intern, so we wouldn't want to impeach him. Come on, if you think he's so lawless, impeach him.
That was a Democrat that did that too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was impeached.
736-0300. Top story. You are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Talk about the pot calling the stainless steel kettle black. Jill, you are a classic.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
They're bad-mouthing Republicans with that piece of crap in our White House.
What are you talking about? I'm bad-mouthing? That's our president of the United States. I have to respect it when you guys win. You need to respect it when we win. And yet no one has respected it when the people have reelected him by a landslide.
We've had no
choice. So don't sit no choice? You can vote.
And his king's rule over the last 6 years, I mean, we've had no choice but to respect it. So,
Oh, yeah. Why don't you start? That would be a newsflash. Oh, please. Are you kidding me? You've ever given this man respect?
I'm not kidding you.
Oh, please. No one has been talked so badly about.
736-0300. Top story. You're on the air.
You know, everybody, you keep saying, Jill, that Bush was the worst, and I'm not saying he did a lot of things right.
Are you kidding? Did he get anything
but Obama
right?
hasn't faced anything like George Bush did.
You're joking.
Not only that, who was in charge in the House and Senate?
I'm sorry, what?
Who was in charge in the House and Senate when George Bush was in?
You know what? The president has final veto power.
Don't skip it.
Why?
Because the Democrats were in charge in the House and Senate. They're the ones that wanted to give everybody a house, whether they could afford it or not, and everything else that caused this whole thing. So don't keep blaming on the Republicans that want everybody to have a job and do things on their own. You guys on the left are the ones that want to give everybody everything to make it even. Life isn't always fair. Face it.
Especially with the Republicans. And if you think the world financial crisis was because people needed a house, that they didn't bundle those and sell those sub-mortgage, prime, whatever, look into the facts there, Kyle, because it was not just people getting houses, the people selling those bad loans and giving anyone credit. Come on, look at what happened there.
We got the cops with the bad
guys. But let's deregulate. Let's deregulate more. Let them do it again.
I'm not going to be able to talk about
my
comment.
No one cares about your stupid comment.
I wanted to talk about the comet.
No one cares.
736-0300 is the number to call, and we've got Sergeant Ken Menzel of the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department coming up, but he's not going to come up yet.
No, because Kelly wants to talk about his comet.
Well, he was supposed to be on at 8:30, and he was late. And I can't tell you why he was late, because that's a secret. But But so now he'll have to pay the price, and he'll just have to.
And you have to
sit
listen to
through
the
my
comment story
about the
too.
comet.
That works. I'll try and
And
keep quiet.
any comments are welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so scientists are facing a desperate race against time after the Rosetta's probe's first image since landing on the comet revealed that it is positioned awkwardly on its side in a cave.
Just keep talking. Stop, Kelly. Just keep going.
I'm trying to be serious.
I know. It was our previous conversation.
How in the
Stop.
world do you have a space probe travel
don't know.
300 million
10
miles and wind up as a hole-in-one? I mean, there are golfers around here who have tried that for their life for couple of hundred yards and have never done it. Ladies and gentlemen, the European Space Agency has made a 300 million mile hole-in-one. Let's hear it for
hopefully
them.
they get a plaque. Oh my gosh. Was there only one hole on the comet?
I don't know. It was a par 4, I think. But in a press conference, ESA, the European Space Agency, has revealed that they aren't quite sure where Philae is on the surface, but they do know that they think they are near a cliff based on images returned from the surface. With limited access to sunlight and only a maximum of 30 hours of charge in its battery, European scientists must now attempt to obtain useful data from the probe before it dies, or find a way to recharge its solar panels to keep Philae alive.
Because it only has so much sun, and the batteries only can last 30 hours. Someone please save Philae.
Is obvious. Just call AAA.
I know.
They'll stop by and they'll fix it. The probe.
Don't they have like a little shaker in there? Didn't they anticipate this? Like if it fell, you know how you have some of those toys and they bounce up?
Don't get me wrong. I am not criticizing the European Space
sure
Agency.
you are.
I'm just having a little fun with this. I think the fact that they shot off a rocket 10 years ago and made it 300 million miles, a little bitty 2.5 mile dot through space, 300 million miles away, and landed on it, that in itself, if the mission ended now, it would be a resounding success.
I just hope they're all golfers because they'll know the disappointment. Anyway.
We should have had them come jump the canyon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Exactly.
Aside from the picture, scientists at ESA also confirmed that the probe was on its side based on data returned to Earth, but bouncing across the surface may have partially damaged its solar panels. I mean, this traveling into space, it's not a walk in the park.
No.
You know, it's deadly.
Well, it's shocking they made it.
In a press conference, they said we are in a kind of cave, not a very flat area. And they said that the probe had access to just 90 minutes of sunlight every 12 hours, which meant it might not survive much longer than a day on the comet.
Aww.
So anyway, there you go.
All right. Well, finally, Kelly got his comet story in.
I really.
And
I
now
feel much,
we've got Bad Boys.
And we've got to do this right. Stand by, please. All right. There we go. Sergeant Ken Menzel with the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. What a great day today is.
It is. It was a rough morning. No heat. My pipes froze at the house this morning.
No.
It was very interesting start
How
to
did
my
you
morning.
do that?
Woke up with 50-degree weather in my house and no running water. So
do you not have a heat?
You didn't turn on the furnace or anything, or the heater?
it was on. Just apparently the gas didn't want to work. So.
Oh, no way.
That's not a good thing.
I'm surprised you slept through it unless you were just like, I don't know.
Out.
And that like
must have been
hypothermia hit.
Well,
no one could wake you up.
And as is the case, whenever we have our first snowfall of the season, motorists have to get used to this all over again.
They do. Yeah, on the way in, it was wonderful for me to be able to just hit the four-wheel drive button in my patrol vehicle and just be able to drive. But, cars spinning around, doing 180s and 360s on the icy roads this morning. That's always a treat. And you see a lot of motorists that don't take the time to clean off their windshields. A lot of icy windshields driving around this morning.
Yep.
So what do you do when you see that? When you see someone doing a 360 with an icy windshield, do you just drive over right away? Do you have like pre-printed tickets out?
Right.
You just go, here.
I drive by and thumb my nose at them.
Like, what do you do?
Neener.
Like, I mean, at that point, do you cite them for a icy windshield?
It is a $90 citation to have obstructed
$90?
windshield. Yeah. It's funny. Sometimes you'll go down the road and you'll see like a little palm print where they put their palm on the window.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking out of
Nice.
to try and travel because they didn't take.
Yeah,
the
I
this is
never
serious.
thought of that. I'm going to have to try that.
Clearing your windshield tips.
I
by
just
Sergeant Mensah.
roll my driver window down and look out the window. and tell
Right.
it-
So yeah, it's a $90 fine, and you'd be surprised how many crashes are a result of people not being able to see
Yeah, I'll
the
bet.
full 360 around their car. This year we purchased some ice scrapers, so maybe we'll start off the season with giving out a free Twin Falls County Sheriff's Office ice scraper along with
Here's
that.
your $90 ice scraper.
That's right.
Here's your gift with purchase. There you go. Who knew? That is so nice.
So
Great promotional ideas.
we try
like that.
and get things stopped before bad things happen. But yeah, there's a lot of motorists out this morning, and I've seen quite a few spinouts on the way over. So just
Yeah.
give yourself a little extra travel time, slow it down a little bit, and just be cautious that the person traveling next to you might not be as skilled as you are trying to get to their destination.
Yeah, really. Isn't it really not you that you're so worried about? It's like all these other, what'd you call them? Luggerheads?
Lunkheads, I don't know.
Lugheads. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you might be going fine and slow, and then you got all these other lunatics driving by.
Well,
and-
whether you have front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you all have problems stopping. I mean, it could be a
That's
four-wheel
it,
drive.
right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
It
And
doesn't matter.
I can't tell you how many big four-wheel drive rigs, and I have four-wheel drive also. But how many of these rigs will pass you
Yeah.
like they're ticked at you? Get out of their way. They can't drive 45 in a 35-mile zone with slick roads when you're in the way.
And a mile down
You
the
know.
road, they're on their side or
Yeah,
crumpled
I
up
know.
somewhere. Yeah.
I
and then you
know.
kind of just want to laugh, but you feel
they
bad for them.
think they're bulletproof and they got four-wheel drive. And you know what? When it comes to stopping, you are just as helpless as anybody else.
Yeah.
Now I heard
So-
like the normal time it was 3 seconds, but in weather like this it should be 8 seconds. Is that true?
Double or triple it at least.
Double
yeah,
or triple,
absolutely.
8 seconds. And how could they? How can they judge this?
Just give yourself as much time as you can. Absolutely.
I think Jill woke up and took a funny pill this morning. She's
turning-
laughing at everything.
Turning
Kelly.
Republican on us.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, okay. What else should people do in this weather? Say you're traveling, I don't know, to Oregon or something. What should you take in your car with you?
Sure. Extra blankets. Make sure your battery's charged. Make sure your tires are inflated well. Check to make sure you've got plenty of tread. I think the
How about your tire rods?
Make sure the
should your
tire
tire
rods are in
rods
good
be
shape.
good?
yeah, Jill, I checked those
I
out.
just found out
well
my
in
tire
advance.
rods are shot after they put on my new tires. Anyway, go on. So I'm worried about my car now.
I would be. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, great. Apparently they weren't. And so, should you bring food? Should you bring extra
You know, a
clothing?
little 48-hour kit, if you have one available for you, something that's got flares, maybe a little flashlight that has little flashing lights in it. Those are kind of older, but you used to be able to buy the little flashlight where you could turn it to where it had an amber flashing light or a red flashing light.
A lot of the LED flashlights you get now do the same thing.
Sure.
So unless they last longer.
What about water?
Tire
Water would be
chains,
nice.
Water, yeah. If your car has a heater and
Yeah,
it won't freeze
so
on you. No.
trying to drink frozen water can
That's
give you a headache.
right.
I understand.
It's probably at your house right now.
That's
So
right.
You're like, please let me get into my car.
Frozen water would be great. I just don't have any. So, yeah, those are things you want to just prepare for in advance.
Yeah.
If you're going to get stuck on the side of the road, have a way to A, keep warm, and B, just sustain life until help can get there.
So what should you do? Should you lift your hood? Like, what's the signal that you're in trouble?
Emergency hazard lights, pretty much, or we'll pull over on the interstate or on a highway if we see somebody pull off to the side of the road with their flashers on. We'll
So you
stop
shouldn't
and get
lift
them.
the hood. Was that an old signal before, back in the day? Lift your
I
hood?
think it's still valid, isn't it?
I think
or is
so.
it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Because I drive by on the interstate every once in a while with somebody with their flashes on and the hood's up and they're steady
And you
reading
you
a
keep
book.
driving. and you
I keep driving.
driving.
I'm in a hurry.
You know, and
Somebody
most
else will help them.
most people have cell phones nowadays, and those
Yeah.
you can get a hold of a dispatcher and get law enforcement or a tow truck or somebody there to help you
I
out.
think a lot of people too, as they drive past these people in distress, they will pick up their phone and call.
Oh, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I heard on
Is
the
that what you
scanner
do,
once,
Kelly?
uh-huh.
Is that what you do?
Absolutely.
Not. As you're on your ham radio to Singapore, hey, there's someone on the side of the road. Who cares? Anyway, what else should they do? Should they worry about their exhaust pipe in the snow? You know, because I've heard of people getting poison or
Well,
Carbon
we
monoxide.
had
Carbon
some of those
monoxide.
issues. I believe it was last winter or the winter before. People coming up from Nevada up into Idaho, and they got lost. And
oh yeah,
um,
Albert and
right.
yeah.
Just just have a well-planned, thought-out destination. Make sure you know where you're going, a GPS unit, let people know. Have an estimated departure and people where you're going to, and have them, kind of know when you're going to get there. And an hour or two goes by, and it's time to start calling around and checking to see what's going on.
And bring something to eat. The poor woman had to survive 49 days on like Tic Tacs or something. It's like, come on. You have to pack something food.
A bucket of licorice and a bag of jerky, right?
Something, I don't know.
You're talking,
Not in my car, but whatever. You go ahead with that. It sounds great. So what else should we worry about right now?
Just the other issue that you have, traveling in these kinds of conditions, we see our crash rate go up. Unfortunately, we also see a lot of motorists traveling with no insurance, and that's the last thing you want to be a victim of is to not have insurance on your vehicle and be the cause of a crash. How much is that ticket? That's a license suspension and $150, $155 unless it's your second offense, and then it's a misdemeanor.
Really? And how long do you lose your license for?
It can be gone quite a while. You can go get it reinstated quite recently after you get the ticket, but you're stuck with paying that SR22 insurance.
Yeah.
And SR22 is not cheap.
Yeah.
What is the SR22 insurance?
SR22 is a special insurance that just covers at-risk motorists, motorists who have been in crashes or have frequent tickets. We were talking a couple of shows ago that 12 points on your record within a calendar year and you get a license suspension. So that could be 3 speeding tickets and your license can be suspended.
Oh, my.
And when your insurance company sees that you're a risky driver, that you get stopped quite a bit, or you've been stopped for not having insurance, or stop sign violations or whatever moving violations are out there, you become an at-risk motorist and you're required to get SR22. And sometimes that SR22 insurance can be something you're forced to have for a year or longer. And if your regular insurance premium is like $150 a month, SR22 could be anywhere between $250, $300 a month.
You're kidding.
That's a car payment.
Yeah. Yikes. We have a caller?
We do. Top story. Okay. You're on the air with Sergeant Ken Minsel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm an insurance guy, just helping to clarify the SR22 thing. SR22, it's nothing different than the insurance you already have. SR22 is just a certificate to the state that says that you have continuous insurance. You have the state minimums.
Is it more expensive?
Huh?
Is it?
The SR22 itself isn't, but the fact that you have it means that you had a ticket, license suspending, and that kind of thing will raise your rates, yeah.
So are you busy today? Are you getting a lot of calls from your clients right now? Is there being bad?
Not yet.
What are you talking on the phone for? You should be. No, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that information. All right, so that SR22 is kind of like a notice to your insurance company.
You're a loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
you're a lughead.
That's Jill's scheme.
Well, really, at that point, you might have speeding tickets. You're driving without insurance. Come on. What are you doing here, people? Right. You're just going to get yourself in more trouble, right?
It's kind of a bad circle. You get started driving
cycle.
wrong. And,
yeah, bad cycle.
Just slow down. Be a courteous, respectful driver. Be defensive, not on the offense. Give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination. And like today, give yourself a chance to get there.
And clear your windshield, right?
Absolutely,
with 2 palms at least, right?
At least 2 palms.
Stop texting and put both palms on the windshield.
I guess if there is an upside to this, when people do have to slow down somewhat for something like this, so if you do have an accident, it's generally not as severe as like if they're going 85 on the interstate or something and have a rollover.
Yeah.
Should they, if they're in an offender bender or something, do they call 911? What should they do?
Absolutely. If you have the non-emergency line, if nobody's been injured and the damage is minimal, if you've got road blockage, the last thing you want is to have more cars coming down the road and hit you. If you know the non-emergency line, great. If you don't,
is it 311?
735-1911 if you're in the county, and 311 if you're in the city of Twin.
Okay.
And then if you don't know it, 911 is not gonna make anybody upset with you. It's getting help to.
Sorry, you've got the wrong number. Click.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is the wrong number.
Sergeant Ken Minsel with the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department. Thank you, sir. Appreciate what you do, and we'll see you next time.
And be safe out there.
Absolutely. And this is Top Story. We got Kelton Hatch coming up next from Idaho Fish and Game. Get your questions and comments ready. And we're back. Oh,
and
go
we're
ahead.
We're on the air,
don't let me stop anything.
The best shows.
You forgot to give me the warning.
Off air.
Well, we have Kelton Hatch with Idaho Fish and Game. In case you didn't recognize that voice, That booming voice. Good morning, Kelton.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Doing great.
Well,
great. Yeah. Did you have any trouble getting here this morning?
I did not.
Because you probably have
the only
four-wheel
trouble.
drive.
What was that?
You probably have four-wheel drive.
Well, I do, but yeah, it's not that tough. I mean, I'm from Southeastern. It's a little more winter over there typically, but
this is just a spring day.
It is the tough part about getting to work today was not going hunting because it's just such beautiful weather for hunting right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for almost anything, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if you could get out and chase some birds right now, I mean, everything's hunkered down and they're not running on you, and it's you get a little bit chilly, but you bundle up, you're fine.
That's right.
How do you think the little birds feel?
Don't be a wuss. Go
they're
hunting.
Happy.
I hope they're hanging out, not running, or so you can't find them.
Well, the dogs find them. Mm-hmm. So you have hunting dogs, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And this is, I love this type of weather. The waterfowlers are just ecstatic right now. Northern ducks are starting to move in because a lot of the potholes up north and a lot of the water sources up north have frozen up, and we've really got an influx of ducks this last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tons.
Stopping by on their trip up down south?
Yes, they are. There's a lot of waterfowl coming into the valley right now. We started seeing coming in pretty heavy this weekend and this last weekend, and our Hagerman ponds and those areas down there are just covered. And so I really feel that, anybody that's a waterfowl hunter, this is the weekend to get out there and really get her going.
Even for photography buffs, I suppose it'd be a great time too.
The toughest thing, you got to keep the wind to your back so your lens doesn't get all speckled with snow.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes that can lend to the picture also.
Well, yeah, if you can see them.
Just put your thumb on it like they do for their windshields. Put your palm on
there
it.
you go. Is it still snowing?
It is. Well, it's
really light.
Yeah, it's flaking like
Our
it has.
Our parking lot is covered.
Well, the interesting thing is we get enough traffic in town driving over here. All the intersections are really slick.
Yeah.
You see a lot of cars spinning to take off and things like that. So just have to accelerate a little slow. First little spattering of snow of the year, it's going to be interesting driving for folks.
Yeah, got to learn all over again. So just about every hunting season possible is open right now, isn't it?
It is. Things are, the big thing that's going on right now is we've got elk, we've got deer, pronghorn's pretty well closed, waterfowl, and all our upland game birds. And, the upland game bird seasons like California and bobwhite quail go through January 31st, so we got a long season left on those. And then we get into chuckers and gray partridge are to the 31st. We've got pheasants until December 31st. We've got forest and roughies till January 31st, and then there's a ton of turkey hunting up north. And so you got a lot of upland game bird things going on. Rabbit hunting. Everybody kind of laughs when I say rabbit hunting, but cottontails are really awesome table fare, and if you've never had a cottontail, they're really good. It tastes just like chicken, Jill. Tofurkey.
Jill has a cottontail named Peter.
Peter. Kelton can make
Peter
anything
Cottontail.
taste well.
You bet.
It can all taste good.
It all can taste good.
Salt, pepper, little olive oil.
Salt, pepper, little olive oil, onions, scallions, mushroom. Just something on it to dude it up. And
aren't they hunkered down somewhere, the little rabbits right now?
They are. They're
Where do they go?
Trying to keep warm with their families.
Yeah. It's the holidays coming up.
Decorating their little holes.
Yeah. You're not helping any, Kelly. You're not helping any, Kelly.
Where do they go, Kelton, in the winter? Where do they hide out?
They
abandoned buildings?
Nope. They hang out in the rocks and in the holes in the ground and all over the valley. Rocky areas. I was out chucker hunting this last week, and there was a ton of cottontails when I was out there, and so.
Were there a ton when you left?
There was.
Thank you.
Because, I guess when I'm hunting with my bird dogs, I really I don't ever shoot at rabbits because even though there's opportunity to harvest cottontails, I don't want my dogs hunting rabbits. I want my dogs hunting birds, and rabbits are one of those critters that I can go out and get without my dogs.
Silly wabbit.
And so, but they are really tasty, and it's a good time of year to go out and get them, Jill.
And then what could they do with the fur? They could give them as a Christmas gift or something. Wrap it around a toy.
Make rabbit's feet.
Yeah, oh God.
You could make a little hat. You could make gloves.
Yeah, with a little cottontail, yeah.
You know, they're warm gloves and really warm hats, especially if you put the fur on the inside.
These are tips.
These are
if
tips.
these are not holiday tips.
I have.
Have you?
I have. Yeah. Oh, well, my buddy, he actually trapped a skunk this weekend. He's got quite the sporty skunk hat. He's going to be building. So.
How did they get the smell
out?
You know,
he doesn't care.
They've got a method to put them down so they don't excrete their scent.
Okay.
And so when you skin them, you just stay away from the scent glands. And they don't smell bad at all. Once the hide is tanned, I've got a couple of skunk hides that I take for hides and skulls demonstrations to youth groups, and there's no skunk smell whatsoever. It's just, it's a really nice, soft, warm hide.
Yeah. Well, they darn. Interesting.
So they stay
we
warm.
Find out during Kelton segments.
Is there a season for cottontails?
There is, and it goes until February sometime.
Okay.
And so we got a good long season for cottontails and snowshoes, and there's actually a snowshoe season. And so I'm trying to remember the bag limit. I think it's 4 or 6. You better double check the regulations on that. Yeah. We usually only get if we get 2 or 3, we're happy because it makes up one good meal. And there's usually take my kids up, and so if we get opportunity a few more, we've got enough folks there typically that.
What about how are pheasants doing this year? I've seen a couple out.
Pheasants have been a little bit tight this year from what I've seen in years past. Some areas are doing well where we've got lots of cover and good habitat. In other areas, we're just not quite seeing as many. Chukar populations are looking really good. They're really scattered. People are either finding them or they're not. The gray partridge numbers are really high this year.
Do you eat chukars?
They're awesome. And that's my roadkill recipe today.
Okay, chukars. So tune in.
Yeah, chukars are just phenomenal table fare. You'd love them. Seriously, I know that you don't eat a lot of meat, but
she doesn't eat any meat.
I know she doesn't.
You mean you eat the little chukars?
They're awesome.
I think I'm thinking of the rock chucks.
These are
you eat
small.
Rock chucks too?
I've never had rock chuck.
What?
I do know people that have, but
you can't make that taste good.
I'm sure you could.
I think that's the challenge.
Next, you have some. I'll cook it for you next spring.
No way.
So, but no, the chukar population is doing really good. But the gray partridge has been phenomenal, and so is the ruffed grouse. And ruffed grouse are just tremendous.
A lot of them in the pear trees this year, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, the partridge.
Partridge and a partridge.
I was trying to think back. It's been an odd day today, Kelton. Just go with it.
He's quite a mood today.
I don't know what happened today. It was during the breaks, whatever.
He's getting the Christmas spirit. Well, I'm like you. I'm kind of giddy when it finally cools off because it's been so hot. Everybody's going, "Oh, what a beautiful Indian summer!" You're sitting here and it's 65 or 70 degrees when you're out there in the desert, and it's just hot.
Yeah.
For November. And now it turned off a little colder than I care for, but I can deal with this
weather.
You're
never happy.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy right now with this weather.
Cold.
What about the sage grouse? How are the sage grouse?
Sage grouse numbers were really looking good this year. Next week we're having this wing bee. And to tell you what, I'll try to explain. What we do is we have wing barrels all over the valley, all over the state actually, during sage grouse season, and people will remove one of the wings from their sage grouse when they harvest it. They drop it in the barrel. Well, our wing bee is we get biologists together from around the state because we have a few thousand of them, and we will take and we'll age the sage grouse so we can tell whether it's a juvenile of the year, a first year bird, or a adult bird, and then we can determine population or what hatching success was by the number. We've done this for 30, 40 years, and so that you can determine what percentage of young of the year were in the harvest, and that kind of gives you a general idea on how many what the chick success was this year. And so we'll get a bunch of folks together, and from all the anecdotal things we've collected and from some of our radial telemetry on sage grouse, we have radios on, and we have biologists, typically technicians, go out and locate nesting hens, and then they'll find how many chicks those nesting hens actually hatch from everything we've kind of gathered to this point, it looks like we had a really successful hatch this year, and so we should have an increase in sage-grouse, overall sage-grouse populations. And so the wing bee will kind of solidify that, whether we were correct on our earlier stuff.
So you urge hunters when the barrel's just sitting out there? Or?
They are. We have signs, and it just says, like we have one on Shoshone Basin Road, we have one on Indian Springs Road, we have one on Dry Creek, we have a bunch up north. In any of the areas that we have sage-grouse hunters, and when they come out of the hills, it just says, "Attention hunters, please deposit a one wing in this barrel." And most of them do it. And so, if people are mounting a bird or they have a bird that they want for taxidermy purposes, they don't drop off a wing because it kind of look funny with a bird on your wall with one wing. But
you could just put that against the side of the mount.
Put that against the wall.
Yeah. No.
He looks like he's flying. He got a wing through the wall.
Aren't they supposed to be? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Go on.
Well, aren't they supposed to be deciding soon whether or not we're going to list on the endangered species list the sage-grouse?
There's a lot of debate right now. It would be devastating to our economy. Yeah. If they are listed. We are doing everything in our power right now to try to keep them from being listed. I mean, like this last weekend, we had over 100 kids out doing habitat projects, and over the course of this fall, we'll have about 300-400 kids that'll go out and plant willows along rivers. They'll collect sagebrush seed that will be planted next year to replant sagebrush burnt areas. And then we'll send some of it to Lucky Peak Nursery. They'll sprout it, and then we'll have sagebrush starts. So we've got these projects going all over there trying to improve sage-grouse habitat. And we're working closely with the BLM. I know Mike McDonald, one of our ESB environmental staff biologist, he's actually working with the BLM today talking about protection areas for sage grouse and just trying to do everything we can to keep them from being listed, because people go into Fish and Game so they can manage wildlife, and we hate to see animals put on the endangered species list because then we have no say in how well they're managed.
Well, how do you think the population is going, up or down?
I think we're actually had a slight increase this year just because of our hatching success and from our overall, and that's our goal. We don't want to see them. We don't want to see them go extinct by any way, shape, or form, but we're doing everything we can to move that needle up that we're getting more sage grouse.
We have
a lot of it's just due to weather.
Yeah. Kelton Hatch is with us from Idaho Fish and Game. If you have questions or comments, the number is 736-0300, and we'll be right back. 736-0300, the number to call here this morning on Top Story, and we'll get back to Kelton Hatch with Idaho Fish and Game here in just a moment. Looks like we even have some calls coming in for Kelton. But before we do that, it is my duty to inform you that the word of the day today is brought to you by the folks at the Happy Landing Restaurant at the Twin Falls Airport. If you're a first-time visitor and you purchase a drink or a meal and tell them you heard about it right here on News Radio 1310, they'll give you a piece of homemade pie.
How is that, huh?
Yes, and it's great. It's delicious. All their food's delicious. You don't have to be flying to or from anywhere to eat at the Happy Landing Restaurant, so give it a try. In fact, I'm going out there again today.
Are you?
Yeah, noon o'clock.
What are you going to have, Kelly Class?
I don't know. I'll see what the special
Let's
is.
hope it's the meatloaf.
Yeah. Yesterday's $100 instant winning name is Doris Tyree.
Doris Tyree, congratulations.
And your $100 word of the day for today is print.
Print.
P-R-I-N-T.
Print.
Go to our website, newsradio1310.com, click on word of the day, type in P-R-I-N-T, listen tomorrow. If you hear your name tomorrow and you played the word today, you win.
That's how easy that one is.
$100.
$100.
That's our $100. So, anyway.
That's a monster truck voice.
Yeah, that's right.
Kelly has the best voice in radio. Best voice in radio.
Even better than Doug Maughan.
And he told him that, too. It was a throwdown the other day.
Yeah. Well, we got a call, so let's take it. Top story. You're on the air with Kelton Hatch. Good morning.
Good morning.
Is that me?
That is you. Yes, sir.
Hey, right on. Hey, I just had a quick question. Who collects the roadkill? Does a person need to get a hold of Fish and Game?
Well, it depends on if a person is going along. There's actually a new salvage law, and if you're driving down the road and you hit a deer or an elk or whatever, you can, and it dispatches the animal. You can take that home.
Wait, what does dispatch the animal mean?
If you kill it.
Why don't you just use the word kill then?
Okay, I can.
Okay, fine.
I'm trying to be polite.
Please. They're still dead. Okay, kill the animal, yeah.
If the animal's killed, you can take it home and butcher it for personal use. If you would like, you just have to go online, and we have a reporting station where you just basically print yourself out a permit for an animal that was hit by a motor vehicle. And part of that's gone because, I mean, it's illegal harvest to take that, and so we had to change that. The legislature changed that law a few years ago, and so if the animal's still alive, you need to contact Fish and Game, and we'll come out and check it out, and or call the county police and determine how bad it's injured. If it's injured bad enough that we have to kill it, then you can still take it.
Okay. Do they then have to submit the recipe?
That answer the question?
They don't need to submit the recipe.
Well, I was just kind of curious because I noticed there was a dead deer out on 3200. It'd been hit by a car, and it's drawn a lot of attention to a couple of dogs that I almost hit a couple of dogs. And to me, I just kind of wonder if, they could get it out of there where someone's dog's got hurt.
Yeah, well, usually what we try to do on those is between ITD and Fish and Game and other county workers will try to pick those animals up and take them to the dump, especially if they're in front of people's houses. Other times, like if they're on the interstate, we'll actually try to pull them off the road because we get quite a few animals killed, and that would take a lot of time. But
so should he call Twin Falls County?
He could call Twin Falls County. He could pull it off the edge of the road further, or he could call Fish and Game. And
what's the number, Kelton?
324-4359.
324-4359.
And report where it's at, because one thing you got to remember, we only have one officer for about every 1,000 square miles.
Yeah.
And so they don't frequent every road. So when you have animals like that, just give us a holler, and we'll try to get a hold of either the county, or you can get a hold of the county or something like that. But do appreciate the question.
Yeah. Does that help you out?
All right. Yeah. Yes, it does. Thanks.
Good enough.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you for the call.
So it sounds like it's beyond eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What happens if someone else, if you just come upon one that has been hit? Can you still salvage
They
it?
can.
Okay. All right.
They can.
Top story. You were on the air with Kelton Hatch. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I would like to have Carlton address the situation of wolves in Jerome County. I had one on my place personally the other day. I personally saw it. And I would just like to know what the Fish and Game has to say about their wolf sightings, etc., in Jerome County. You can answer that over the phone. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. This is about the first one I've heard of for a couple of years. We've got a reporting site that you can go on to our website, Report Wolf Sightings. Please do that. It kind of gives us an idea where wolves are. There is open season on wolves right now, and Jerome County is open. If you have a wolf permit in your pocket, you can harvest it. And we just don't get a lot of wolf sightings anywhere in Twin Falls, Jerome, or Mini-Cassia or any of these counties around here. And part of the biggest reason is because it's high in population. There's lots of livestock, and there's lots of roads and trails. And so if we have wolves in this area, typically livestock will start dying. And when that happens, then we'll come in and we'll have a...
well, we'll be right back
okay.
here with Kelton Hatch. Stand by. 7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. And I know it's snowing today, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I should have cut more firewood for the wood stove. But oh no, my chainsaw is broken, or my axe is dull, or my old-fashioned handsaw is just coming apart. Not to worry, because there's Clearwater Power Equipment in Twin Falls. They have Husqvarna and Echo chainsaws. And these chainsaws, I'll tell you what, they can cut up that wood in nothing flat. Just need to do a little trim up or whatever. And I also was driving by there the other day and saw a snowblower sitting out front there. So that might be something you want to consider. If it comes to power equipment, I'll tell you what, you need go no further than Clearwater Power Equipment. And they are experts in this because that's all they deal in. You know, it's not a big box store. They don't sell everything under the sun and chainsaws. They sell chainsaws and the power equipment that you use every day. So stop on by. They're at 252 Washington Street. Their number is 734-7767, and they'd love to have you stop by and say howdy. All right, so we're talking about wolves. So now we got, what, a certification course for wolf trapping?
We do. We have 3-4 classes that are scheduled, or 3 classes. We don't have one in Jerome because we had ours about a month ago, just before trapping season started. We haven't had that much demand. If people are interested in it, you just need to call us at the office, and as soon as we get enough people that are that interest, we'll try to set a class up. But the current classes that are set up, we have one November 15th scheduled in Nampa, which isn't too far away. It's a one-day class. It's a good class. It doesn't teach people the techniques on trapping. It just basically teaches ethics about it and what we need to do to just do it the best possible way. And then we have one in Coeur d'Alene and another one Coeur d'Alene's on November 21st, and then we have one in Idaho Falls on November 22nd.
All right. We got a caller. Top story. You're on the air with Kelton Hatch. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hey, how long are you going to have Kelton on there?
How long do you want him on?
9:49.
All right. I've got a suggestion to make for the three of you.
All right.
Hang on a second, Kelly.
Get your finger ready.
I got my. Oh yeah.
I had the speaker for the phone turned up too high.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's what it was.
You made us a little nervous there, buddy. We didn't know what you were going to do.
Okay, so what did you want to say?
Okay, I can barely hear you for some reason. I don't know why.
What did you want to say? We can hear you.
Hello?
Okay, just say what you want to say.
Kelly, I'll try you another time. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Sounds like we got some telephone issues there.
Must be the snow.
All right, now that could be. Poaching? Is there some poaching going on?
Wait, were you done with your trapping information?
Yeah, pretty much the wolf trapping classes. No, you can get signed up for those. They're great class. Gives you some ideas on how to do different things, but the biggest thing it does is teach ethics.
And so the registration is?
I think it's an $8 class.
And participants must be at least 9 years old?
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Wow, it sounds a little too old there, huh?
Well,
9.
Well,
my gosh.
My son went through it with me when he was 11, and he's never trapped a wolf. He just wanted to learn a little bit more about it, and he runs a trap line in this area, but he doesn't trap for wolves. But it was just a class that he really enjoyed it. He was very involved in the class, and I think it was very interesting to him because we get into a lot of the management and why we have trapping and the reasons for trapping and how to avoid bycatch. And what bycatch is non-target animals, because you're using larger equipment that is capable of holding moose or elk or deer. And so we try to give people ideas on how not to catch those bigger animals and things like that with different stops you put in and breakaways and it's just best practices class is what it is. And he thought he's never used any of the techniques, but he thought it was pretty cool.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to send him out on his own on a wolf line.
Okay.
But
just curious. 9-year-olds, here's some bait. There you
go.
No,
they are the bait.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Just walk over there. No, Daddy's right over here. No problem, Bobby.
All right, we got a caller again. Top story, you're on the air with Kelton Hatch. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I have a question. I've noticed, just as I've been hunting around the valley, normally I hunt small game, birds and so forth, but there will be some landowners that they will post no trespassing signs adjacent to public property or on public property, but I think it's to keep people out of their property, but they post the sign on public property. And so what is the, how would I go about reporting that? Because it does inhibit hunters from getting on lawfully, and it makes it look like they're trespassing when they're not. And what is there a penalty for that? And who would I go about reporting that to? You or the county sheriff? Or
All right, I tell you what, we're going to go into a break right now. When we come back, he'll address that. Thanks for calling. All right, we're back. 736-0300 is the number to call with Kelton Hatch Idaho Fish and Game. But, it's a little chilly and a little snow on the ground now.
What's the weather?
And now you're thinking, the weather?
I mean, the temperature.
The temperature is 22 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's warming up.
Yeah, warming up. Oh, yeah, it's shirt sleeve weather now. Once it reaches 20, it's...
Kelton's in his element now.
Well, I was just going to say that on the feedlot or dairy operation that you might have need for a low-end honey loader, and this loads all types of manure, liquid, frozen, and dry, and it might be a lot of frozen stuff on the feedlot right now. So if you want to see how this works, how it picks this stuff up at up to 7 miles an hour, get a hold of Pat Hartzell with Stanley & Company. He can make an appointment for you to go to one of these operations that have one of these in use. You can see it in real time. You can have your own personal reality show right then and there with a low-end honey loader. See how it works? Get a hold of Pat Hartzell, 280-1167, and he can set you up.
Set you free.
All right, so we had a call. Apparently there are landowners who post property that is adjacent to public property, and so they put the signs so it looks like if you are on public land, it looks like you might be trespassing. Is that how that works?
It is. There's a couple things you can do. One thing that I've started doing is you need just to first off, let me get started here. Contact either the county sheriff or the Idaho Department of Fish and Game. If it's an obstruction to sportsmen getting in there, we're going to go out and check it out. We'll talk with the landowners and try to get things posted correctly. Landowners do have 100% right to protect or post their private ground. And if ground is cultivated or irrigated or manipulated in any way, they don't have to post that ground. The only ground that they really need to post is land that could be BLM or Forest Service or things like that. But if it's agricultural land, it doesn't even need to be posted to keep people off. In this instance...
Although it would help.
Yeah. But in this instance, there's a couple of things. I have a GPS chip that goes in my GPS, and it gives me landowners and private property. And if I come to an area, something like that, and I see for sure that it's on my GPS and it says this is BLM and it's just a post or so off, I will hunt that BLM. So you can do that. And if the landowner comes up, I mean, you stay cordial, talk to him about it, and then rather than getting any type of conflict, I would just leave and then call Fish and Game or the BLM or the county, and we can go back and take care of it. But typically, things like that aren't done on purpose. It does happen every once in a while that we've got hundreds of pieces of like BLM. They're called tracts that families have farmed for years. Well, Grandpa used to farm it, and so the father farms it, and now the son's farming it. Well, come to find out, some of that was BLM land, and so we've gone in and we're working with landowners on that. So sometimes we have instances like that, but get a hold of us.
Okay.
All right. 736-0300. Oh, they decided.
Come on, hang on.
Too long-winded.
That's it. Tell me about that little chip you've got, because it sounds to me like this is
awesome.
This is something that hunters could really use.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's just called a hunt chip, and it's just a little micro disc that goes in a GPS unit, and you plug that in, and so the GPS comes up, shows you where it is, and when you're driving down the road, it says, Kelly Klass's land. Jill Scheme's land, Kelton Hatch's land, and it names off everybody's everybody's land, everybody that owns land in that area, and they update them every year, and then you can just plug your GPS into your computer, and
Isn't that a little scary, like Big Brother's watching or something? Like, now they know
boy,
where we
not
live.
for me,
Come
because
on, Kelly.
There's some.
If anyone found where Kelly lived, oh my.
Well, I know right where he lives because of my GPS.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I can't type in find Kelly Class. I just have to.
Does it show you where the public land is, where the BLM
It does.
is?
It shows BLM, Forest Service, state lands, gives you all the locations. So I like it when I'm hunting on bordering properties and stuff like that. I get permission from like Kelly Class to hunt his ground, to hunt pheasants, and so I just look in there and I can just follow my GPS and it shows me right where your land is.
You can come on our land. We have gophers.
Yeah.
Do we have
We do. We have a caller. Top story. You're on the air with Kelton Hatch.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to kind of follow up with the last caller in regards to the sign. This year when I was out hunting in the 48-4 area, which is up by Stanton Crossing,
Yep.
the landowner there had put a fence all the way across the Bigwood River, and they had a no trespassing for an area that I had a tag in. So I called Fish and Game, and they told me that was an old fence. And I responded, I'm standing right in front of it. It's a brand new fence, and I wanted to follow up because that's my understanding that no one could stop the flow or impede anyone getting up and down the Wood River. Is that true?
Well, it depends on how. We've had discussions with people up in the Wood River Valley because sometimes they do fence streams to keep anglers out, which is illegal. If you come to a fence that impedes your ability to float down that river, you can portage around that legally. Typically those fences, I mean, we up on our ranch, we fence a lot of streams, but that's just to keep the cattle from wading into the stream and then going underneath the fence. And so sometimes we'll get a little bit lower, but some of those fences, they don't have cattle and they do. And so if you come to that instance, you can portage and get back into the stream and float.
All right. Hey, we're out of time. Thanks, Kelton. We'll be back with your recipe, right?
Yes.
Sounds
and
good.
Here's the Huckabee Report. You can hear the Huckabee Report each weekday at this time, brought to you exclusively by Waddell & Reed. Laura Nelson, Josh Funk, and Steve Stanger are the financial advisors. Let me give you the number, 736-6563. All right, so Kelton Hatch with Idaho Fish and Game, you have your monthly roadkill recipe.
And this is one of my favorite. This is jalapeno chuckers. And what you take is you take your jalapenos, you get some cream cheese, need garlic, diced onions, and some good sharp cheddar. Mix that with your cream cheese. Stuff it in your jalapeno. Start cooking your jalapeno on your barbecue grill. You got to get the
in case you don't catch a chucker.
No, because you got to soften the jalapeno up just a little bit. Then you take your chucker breast, you pound it out flat. You sprinkle it with a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and then you take your jalapeno and you roll that up and pin it inside the chucker breast. Then you have started some bacon just a little bit, and you've got it just started cooking, so it's not quite stiff yet.
When are they
and
supposed to shoot that, though?
You wrap that around the outside of the chucker breast, and then you put that on the grill, and you have jalapeno with cream cheese inside the chucker breast with bacon wrap. Oh,
it doesn't ooze out?
No, because you pin it with a
pin
it with a toothpick.
So basically you have to shoot a pig, and then you got to get a chucker and then a jalapeno.
No.
You got to grow the jalapeno.
She makes it sound so difficult.
You got to
doesn't
make
she?
the cream cheese.
I'll put it this way. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's worth the trouble, huh?
It is.
Now,
it's
will
worth
this
every bit
recipe
of it.
be on the Fish and Game website?
It isn't. This is just one This is just one I do at
This
home.
is should. You need
But
to
you have
post
to
your roadkill recipes of the month on your website.
You have to pound those chucker breasts because they're a hard flying
they'll
bird.
fly away.
And they've got a real strong sinew on the outside of their breast. And so if you don't pound it, they can be a little bit tough.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I do, but they're really yummy. Yummy, Jill. You can't mock what you haven't tried. They're yummy.
Well, Kelton, I don't know if you've ever tried seitan. There you go.
Is it from Idaho?
Don't mock it.
Is it from Idaho?
Does it fly?
No, it's wheat gluten.
I'm gluten intolerant.
Oh, how convenient. Okay, you got to post your recipe on the Fish and Game website. It'll be up later on today. Kelton's Roadkill Recipe of the Month.
I'll email it to you.
No, put on your Facebook page.
I don't have a Facebook
I mean,
page.
do it on your website, Fish and Game.
Well, Probably not.
It's a guarded family secret,
It is.
apparently. Huh?
I'm just the people that listen today are the only ones that know it.
This is even a
Really?
big exclusive.
Really?
It's
The
an
exclusive jalapeno checker recipe.
Well, we do stream, and it's gone out worldwide now.
Well,
so
there
it's
you
no
go.
longer
People
a
all,
secret.
even in Iran and Iraq, where Chuckers originally came from.
Oh, really?
So you bet.
That's interesting.
But do they have jalapenos out there? Anyway.
Well,
Thanks, Kelton, as always.
Yeah, Kelton Hatch, Idaho Fish Game. Appreciate it. See you next month.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
And we'll see you tomorrow right here on Top Story. Who do we have tomorrow?
Oh, Kelly class.
You're not there? Never mind.
I was forwarding. Oh, we have CSI and a comedian from Canyon Crest.
Oh, that should
we
be
don't
funny.
even know the comedian's name, which will be even funnier when we find out.
See you tomorrow. Bye, Joe.